Adewunmi Jumah, and she's going to be facilitating the topic productivity accelerators for writers. She's going to be telling us all about how we can 10 times our productivity as writers. Now I'm going to go ahead and introduce her. Lateefah Adewunmi Jumah, she's also known as LajFingers, is a graduate of English language. She's a writer, she's a freelance journalist, she's a poet, she's a wife, and a mother. Lateefah is the author of the novel Behind My Smile, as well as several online web series. A lot of them, I can't even count all of them, including Living in a Different World, My Crush, amongst others. So I'm going to pass the baton to her now, and she's going to give us the presentation. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I welcome you all to the second presentation for today. The Muslimah Workplace Writer Conference 2020. I hope you are good. So the topic this afternoon is productivity accelerators for writers, or in other words, we can say boosting writing productivity. Now, we are going to start by, before we can talk about productivity for writers or how to be a productive writer, we have to first know what writing is and what writing entails. So I'll start by defining what writing is. What is writing? Writing is a form. Writing is a process of using symbol in order to communicate ideas and thoughts. When you interact, when you communicate your ideas, when you express your thoughts in a readable form, in form of scribbling down something, you write. When you share your ideas and thoughts in a readable form, that is what writing is. So it is very important for us to know what is creative writing as well. Creative writing is a form of writing that is also to share ideas and thoughts, but in an imaginative way. A creative writer is someone that does an extraordinary thing. You think out of the box when you want to be a creative writer. You do something that is unique, something that is different, something that is extraordinary. That is what we call creative. You don't just write anything. You try to package your writing, try to be unique, you try to be different. So when you are different, when you are unique, when you write in an outstanding way, that's what we call creative writing. When you think out of the box, that is creative writing. So after that, we are going to go to purpose of writing. We have different purpose of writing. For any writing, there must be a purpose. We have different purpose of writing. But for the sake of this discussion, I'm going to mention just few. We have writing for education, when we write to educate people, writing for information, when we write to give information, to enlighten people, writing for entertainment, when we write to entertain people, to make people laugh, to make people unwind, to make people get their sorrow. Writing for entertainment is a purpose of writing. The another one is writing for persuasion. This can also mean advertisements, when you write to persuade people to go go along your own way to see reason with you. When you write to persuade people to purchase the product, that is what writing for persuasion is. Writing to advertise your products or services, that is writing for persuasion. Those are the purposes of writing and more. So that moves us to tools of writing. Before writing can take place, there are some tools that must be in place. We have the mind, we have the pen, we have the notepad, we have the computer system or phone. Before you can write, those are the tools you must have in place. Then the mind. The first one is the mind. The mind is the most important tool of writing because your mind is the one that generates the idea for you. Your mind is the one that conceptualizes the idea before you can grab a pen to put it down on your notepad or type it on your system. Your mind is very important. So you have to nurture that mind. How do you nurture your mind? Your mind as the most important tool of writing. How do you nurture it? You nurture your mind by reading. Be an avid reader. Read anything important. Read anything readable. Be it dailies, be it magazines, be it article. The work of other writers too is very important. In order for you to be a productive writer, you have to read while you have to be an avid reader. You have to nurture your mind with reading because reading improves your vocabulary progress. Reading gives room for enlightenment. You'll be more enlightened when you read wide. You'll be exposed to new things. You'll be inspired. You will not be stagnant. It gives room for you to know more, to be a better version of yourself. It improves you as a writer. So you have to nurture your mind by reading. Then let us go to the topic. Having known what writing is and the purpose of writing and the tools you have to have before you can be a good writer. Let's move on to the topic, boosting your productivity as a writer. The first one I will discuss is planning. For you to be a productive writer, you have to be a good planner. You have to plan. The first thing you must do is to plan. After your mind must have conceptualized the idea, after you must have generated an idea to write on, you must plan. Because to fail to plan is to plan to fail. Before you can embark on anything in life, and writing inclusive, you have to plan well. Then planning entails the outlining of the features of what you want to write. For instance, if you want to write fictional story or an article, you have to outline the edge, the body, and the bottom of your writing. Then, for instance, as a fictional writer, if you want to outline the features of your writing, maybe you after conceptualizing your idea, you have to come up with your theme. Your idea is your theme, the subject matter that you want to talk about. You outline it. Then the title. It is very important to outline your title as well because it is that title that you are going to work on. That title is going to determine the content of your write-up. That title might change as your writing progresses and it might not change, but it is very important to have a title, to have a workable title for you to have a productive completion. So you have to have a title in place. Then you outline your characters, your characters, your location, the dialogue. You have to outline the features that will be in your writing. You have to outline them. So that is part of your planning. Then part of your planning is to have a workable timetable that you can work with. Have a workable timetable that will motivate you. Have a workable timetable that you can work with, that can inspire you to meet your goal, draw out a timetable. That is part of planning as well. So the next one after planning is starting. After you must have conceptualized your idea and you must have planned, the next one is starting. You have to start, because for any job, before any job could be done, there must be a beginning. For any job at all, for anything, for any process, there must be a beginning. You have to start your writing. Start anyhow, start somehow, but make sure you start beautifully, because the beginning might have a great impact in the completion of your work. Start beautifully, but don't look for a perfect start. Trust me, you can edit your work later, but make sure you start somehow. Start anyhow. So the next one after starting is continuing. After you must have planned, you must have started, you have to continue. And before you can continue writing, you must have determination and focus. Determination will give you the motivation to move ahead, to go on with your writing. Because if you don't have determination, you won't feel the urge to continue. If you are not focused, you may write few lines and dump the manuscript somewhere when you are tired, or your inspiration stops coming. You just dump the manuscript somewhere. But when you are determined, when you have focus, when you have the passion to continue, you are going to continue with your writing. So determination and focus are very important if you want to be a productive writer. Now the next thing I will talk about is commit to a consistent schedule. You have to be consistent. Write every day, write every other day. You can't write once in a month, or you can't write once in 6 months and expect to be a productive writer. You have to be consistent with your writing. When you write every day, or when you write every other day, you'll be improved. The more you write, the better version of yourself you get. So when you write every day, be consistent. Don't be stagnant. Be consistent with your writing, because the practice make perfect. Be consistent. Write every day or every other day. Don't dump your writing. Don't dump it elsewhere, because when you dump it, your motivation will die. So you don't have to dump it. You have to be consistent for you to be a productive writer. Then the next one is set priorities. You have to set priorities for yourself. As a woman or as a man, who are other things you are doing. Maybe you have kids to take care of, you have your family to cater for, you have another work you are doing. But when you set priorities for yourself, when you draw a to-do list, or when you have a scale of preference, you will be able to do the most important thing first before others. For instance, when you have your to-do list in place, you put writing as the second or third thing you're going to do for that day. Maybe after waking up, you say your prayer. After saying your prayer, you cook for the family, do the house chores. Then writing will be the fourth thing you're going to do. That is priority. But when you don't set priorities for yourself, you might not be able to meet your goal. So it is important for you to set priorities for yourself if you want to be a productive writer. Then the next thing is choose your audience. For any piece of writing, maybe article or fictional writing or true life writing or anything, there must be a target audience. You have to choose your audience. Your audience are your fans. Your audience are your motivations. Your audience are the people that will trigger you to write more. Your audience are the people that will be a source of motivation for you. So you have to choose your audience. Your audience might be children, adults, teenagers, women, men. It is very important for you to have a target audience. When you have a target audience, it's going to assist you in choosing your style of writing, in choosing your language. It's going to assist you in choosing your diction, your tone. For instance, when you are writing for children, it is important for you to use little grammar, as in easy grammar that they are going to understand. So when you choose your audience, it's going to assist you in knowing what type of language to use, in knowing your style, in choosing your diction. For instance, if women are your audience, you are going to use something that is persuasive, that is going to appeal to their sense. So it is very important for you to choose your audience rightly. Then put something in place that is going to entertain, inform, and educate them. Don't just write for writing's sake. Don't just write for the fun of it. Write something that is going to educate people. Write something that is going to motivate people. Write something that's going to inspire people. That is when your audience will be attracted to you. If you write anything just for writing's sake, your audience won't, yes, your audience won't be
Connected to
motivated,
you.
won't be connected to you. So you have to choose your audience rightly and give them something that that can make them stay with you. So that's about choosing audience. Then the next one after choosing your audience is to share your goals. Share your writing goals with a trusted friend. Don't be a lone ranger. You have to have someone that can be like an advisor, that can advise you to be a better version of yourself, that you can send your work to after writing something down, maybe episode 1 or article 1. You send it to a trusted person to peruse for you, to give you feedback. When you share your work with a trusted person, is going to give room for feedback. The person will give you feedback and you're going to adjust or improve, or it will make you feel a better version of yourself. So try and have a trusted person that you can share your work with. Then another thing is have a mentor. For you to be a productive writer, you have to have a mentor. Some people have been there before you. Some people have been in that profession before you join the profession. So you should have a mentor that you can look up to, a mentor that you can pick up his or her work, and that you can get inspired by their work. So have a mentor. Don't be a lone ranger. Don't The world does not revolve around you alone. Have a mentor. So when you have a mentor, it's going to when you have a mentor, it's going to assist you in seeing the world from other people's perspective. So make sure you have a mentor. Don't be a lone ranger. Don't do it all alone. Then another one is keep a notebook. It is very important for you to have a notebook handy, or take a notebook and pen with you wherever you go, so that when you get inspiration for something, you quickly jot it down before it goes away. So keep a notebook everywhere you go. That is another thing you can do for you to be a productive writer. Then another one is choose a serene environment where you want to write. You want to avoid distraction. You want to avoid something that will piss you off. So you can choose a serene environment devoid of noise, because noise itself is a barrier in anything, is a barrier in communication, is a barrier in writing. So choose a serene environment. If you think your home is not conducive enough for you, you can go to a library. Go to a library where there will be a pin drop silence, where you can enjoy your writing without distraction. If you think your home is not conducive, and if there is no where you can go out, maybe you can't leave your children at home, you can't leave your family, make sure you give them whatever they want before you start writing, because distraction itself will make you concentrate 100%. But when you give your family whatever they need before you start, before you mount on your writing, then you won't be distracted. You achieve 100% concentration. Then another one, like I said before, is read. You want to be a productive writer, you have to read wide. Read anything readable. Read anything you can lay your hands on, because reading improves your vocabulary.
Mm.
Reading improves your vocabulary. Reading exposes you to the creative content of other writers. When you read when you read books, it exposes you to styles of other writers, how other writers write their their article or books, or write their novel, or write anything. It's going to expose you to their style, and you are going to pick one thing or another as a motivation from their writing. Then reading inspires new ideas. When you read, you get new ideas from it. When you read, you get inspired more, you get motivation, you are inspired to do better. Then another thing is, as a writer who wants to be productive, you take cognizance of happenings in your environment. What is happening in your street, what is happening in your country, in your state of residence. You take cognizance of them all. It's going to assist you in generating ideas. Then another thing is, reading encourages you to be a better writer. When you read, you are going to be better, because it is going to improve your writing prowess. So reading is very important in being a productive writer. Then another thing is, write in chunk. Don't don't write as a stretch at a stretch. When you are tired, pause, go for a walk, for a stroll, sleep, or do some other things. Don't when you get tired of writing, don't force it. Don't force it. Take a break. Or when the inspiration stops coming, you can just leave the leave the leave your present environment. Leave your present environment and go somewhere else. By the time you come back, you might have gotten fresh ideas. Or sleep. By the time you wake up from your sleep, your brain is refreshed, then you get new ideas, then you continue. Then there's something we call writer's block. When you get writer's block is when your inspiration stops coming, when you sit down on the system, or the writing part, the inspiration to write stops coming. You don't even know what to write. You don't your brain is not functioning again. You take a walk, pause, don't force it. Sleep, do any other thing. By the time you come back, you might have gotten new inspiration. Another one is, for you to be a productive writer, you have to be passionate. You have to have passion for writing, because something that you are not passionate about, any little challenge you encounter from it, you are going to give up. You are going to
Will
give up. You are
discourage
going
me.
to it's going to discourage you. So try and be passionate about what you are doing, because passion is what is going to trigger you to do better. Is what is going to make you a better version of yourself. Another one is devotion. You have to be devoted to writing. You can't write once in a year or once in a month and expect to be a better and productive writer. Try and write every day or every other day. Be devoted to writing. Another one is commitment. You have to be committed. Be committed to what you are doing. Give it time. Give your energy, give your money. You buy data to write. You are using your money in order
Money,
you are
finance.
using your money, so you are committed to writing. You are devoting your time. You are committed to writing. You have to give it your all, your time. Your writing is time consuming. So in order to be a productive writer, you have to give your all. You have to give your time, money, and even sometimes your energy and your strength. You have to give it your all. Then another one is research. Research. Don't don't sit in one place. Don't be a stagnant writer. You have to research. Make research. When you research, it's going to give you insight into what is happening around you. It's going to give you insight on the new things that is happening around the world. You make research. It's going to give you a headway. It's going to give you a headway. When you research, it's going to give you new discoveries. You're going to discover new things. You won't be you won't be you won't be an old-fashioned writer. You explore new things, you explore new styles of writing. So do research, and if you have a topic or idea or thought, you can go to the internet to research. You can read books to learn more about it. Just make research. When you research, it's going to give your work a very, how do I put it? It's going to give your work a very brilliant end. You are going to write beautifully and brilliantly when you research. But when you don't make research, you
Mm.
just write
You come off
anything
as
on
amateur.
your head. You just write anything that comes to your head. You write blatantly, but when you make research, you are going to write beautifully, and your work is going to come out very perfect. So another one is completion. Completion. After you must have conceptualized idea. You must have plan, start, continue, consistency, and all that. It's very important for you to complete your work. So many people have dumped their manuscript in their bedroom, in their office, in their sitting room without completing it. When you feel the urge to write, that is determination is going to be pushing you. But when your determination is at the lowest, creating discipline is the next thing. When your determination is at the lowest, discipline is what's going to push you up again. When you are disciplined, you want to achieve this goal. You have to be disciplined and then create a deadline for yourself. It is very important. If you want to achieve a completion in your work, you create a deadline for yourself. For instance, if I start writing on the 1st of March, then I want to write for like a month. Then I set my deadline as 31st of March. I'm going to if there is a deadline to beat, I'm going to be more devoted.
Yes.
I'm going to leave every other thing that are of less importance and focus on my writing because I have a deadline. But if there is no deadline, you won't be motivated enough to go ahead. You won't be motivated to continue. But when you have a deadline to beat, it's going to assist you in no small measure. So make sure you create a deadline for yourself in order to complete your writing. The another one is edit your work. Editing is very important. After completing your work, you edit. Editing is very important. Before you send your work to a professional editor, edit yourself. When you edit by yourself, it's going to afford you the opportunity of adding addendums, something that you didn't see, that you didn't deem fit to add to the writing when you were writing it. Editing will give you the opportunity to put addendum, to put more beautiful things, as in to add more professional touch to it. So edit your work before you put it out. Edit the typo errors, edit the grammatical errors, do cross your T's
Your
and dot
teeth
your
and
I's
that's your eyes.
before you put it out for the professional editors. Then another one is market your work. You can earn a living out of writing. That's another aspect of being a productive writer. You can earn a living out of writing. You can write to take your work, push it out. You can write on the internet. You can write on social media. You can put a lot of things in place just to earn a living out of writing. You don't just have to write for writing's sake. Writing is very important for you to improve yourself. Writing is very important as a passion. Writing can be a hobby, then writing can be a means of generating income as well. So you market your writing anyhow that you deem it fit. You can market it on the social media. You can be you can be a newspaper writer. You can be a journalist. You can be a journalist. You can earn money through writing. That is what I'm trying to point out. So market your writing, be a productive writer. Then another thing is in being a productive writer is when you accommodate other people. Don't
Be an
listen.
island.
Don't be an island. Listen to other people's opinion. Try as much as possible to welcome other people's ideas as well. You can get more ideas from other people. Don't stand alone. Stand with people. Try and put your work out with other people to generate more ideas, to give you more motivation to work as a team. Work as a team. Sometimes when you work as a team, you see the world. You see the world more better. You see the world in other people's perspective. You won't you won't you won't you won't you won't be stagnant. Let me put it like that. You won't be stagnant. You'll be able to move forward when you share your ideas with other writers as a team. So that is all I have for you on being a productive writer. Being a productive writer entails so many things. You just have to you have to explore everything. Anything you can do, you have to explore everything, every means you can explore to be a productive writer. Don't just sit at home. Don't just sit in the four walls of your house. Research, share your ideas, share your thoughts. Be consistent. Be passionate. Be devoted. Be committed. Have plans. Don't just do anything without having your plans ahead. Make sure you complete after starting, because starting, planning, and every other one will be a waste if your work is not completed. So many people used to ask me, "Hey, LajFingers, you always complete your stories. I have a lot. If you are a writer, I have a lot of stories uncompleted. How do you complete your stories?" I always tell them discipline and a workable deadline. It's all the things that work for me. I always discipline myself, and I always set priorities. I have children as well. I have my home to take care of, but I set priorities for myself. Not that my home is not important, not that writing is more important than my home, but I take writing is something that I'm passionate about. When you are passionate about something, you achieve your set goals regardless of your busy schedule, regardless of whether you have other things you are doing or not. So may Allah assist us all to be a better writer, to be a productive writer, to be a writer that can motivate people, to be a writer that can inspire others, to be a
Amen.
writer that will go places, to be a writer that will
Amen.
evolve the world with our writing. So,
Uh,
or are there questions?
now, Jazakumullah khairan for that powerful presentation, Lateefah. Jazakumullah khairan. I learned so much. We'll go to the to the comments now,
Okay.
and see if everyone online has a question. Now, I have a question. As well.
Okay.
So, what if a writer has identified some of the things that are hindering him or her from, being productive, how will
Okay.
that person now, how will that person now conquer that particular hindrance? How will that person get over that particular hindrance to become a better and more productive writer? What's the advice that you give to that person?
Okay. A problem you don't know about is the one
Not be solved.
that has a solution.
Hmm.
Once you can identify your problem, it has a solution. For instance, if your family or your kids are the ones hindering you from being a productive writer. Like I said earlier, you have to give them whatever they want. Maybe prepare their meals for them before you mount on your. Just put everything in place. The problem that has a solution. A problem that has a solution is no longer a problem.
A problem.
After you might have identified your something that is hindering you from being a productive writer, you have to tackle it anyhow you want to tackle it. And I have given you example. If it is family, if it is money, because money too can be an hindrance. You don't have money to buy data, and you want people to hear you. You want to write. You want to share your ideas with the world, and you don't have money to buy data. You have to tackle it. Maybe you source for money, or you put something in place that can fetch you money. So something that has a solution, a problem that has a solution, is no longer a problem. It is the way it is how we are going to tackle it that remains for us to do. So I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, yes, yes, definitely. Well, like you said, when one has already identified the problem, it's left for the person to, you know, look for workable ways around that particular problem. And whatever the problem is, one knows it best. So it's left for one to just look for a way to work around it. You did answer my question. Jazakumullah khairan. Jazakumullah khairan.
I mean,
Okay, there's another question here. Can you see the chat?
no, I'm not saying the chat.
Okay, let me just read it to you. What is your productivity advice for a nursing mother who is an aspiring writer?
Okay. My advice for a nursing mother who wants to be productive in writing is to set your priorities, set a workable timetable. For now, if you are not working before, if you are a stay-at-home mom, that is even better. You have to create a to-do list for every day. What you want to do every day, your to-do list must be intact. You put down you create a to-do list with a scale of preference. What you want to do, the things that are more important and the things that are less important, you create them. Those will assist you in managing your time, because time is very important in writing. If you don't create the time, there is no way you are going to achieve your goal. You have to create time. You just have to create time. And being a nursing mother can be very challenging, in that if it is a new baby who is not
Is very
yet
demanding,
received
who
the
always
milk,
wants attention all the
is
time.
very challenging. But once you can create a to-do list, it's going to motivate you into achieving your goals. Create a to-do list, a workable timetable that you can easily work with every day. It's going to assist you. Draw a scale of preference, because there are things that are more important, like taking care of your family are more important. Just draw a scale of preference. Create a to-do list, and those things are going to and then have determination, because if you don't have determination, you easily give up. Have determination to continue. So it's going to assist you. Then create time. If there is a will, if there is a will, there
There's
will
a
always be
witness.
a way. So create time and and those things will assist you.
Now, there's another question here. It says, can you recommend books that can be of help on the journey to being a productive writer?
Well, I don't really have any book in mind. If I want to read, if I want to improve my writing skills, I probably go on the internet to search for the subject matter on whatever I'm looking for. I go on the internet. So I'll advise the person to probably go on the internet, go the word is now over the anything, to just type the topic on your browser and it's going to bring it to you. You can search, you can surf the internet for any material that you want, and you can visit any bookshop like UI now. UI in Ibadan, you can visit UI library, or you can visit what's the name of this bookshop? Bookseller bookshop in Ibadan. It's very, they just tell them the topic of the book you are looking for, the title of the book you are looking for, just tell them, they will fish it out for you. Most importantly, Google is your friend.
Now, another question, I'll get back to that, but there's another question here. It says, one of the things that hindered my writing is editing my work. Once I edit my write-up, I feel I am writing crap. How can I overcome this?
Okay, if editing is your hindrance, then don't try to edit by yourself. Don't force, because it is very important to give your work to other people to edit for you. As a writer, it is what you have in your head that you'll be reading when you are editing, no matter what. It is what you have in your head that you'll be reading, and that thing might not be correct. But if you give it to a third party, it is that third party that will now discover that mistake. For you discover that mistake because it is you have a different thing in your head. Our hand is faster than our heart is faster than our hand. When you are typing, it is what your heart brings to you that you are going to type. That you may not type the correct thing. You may think you've typed the correct thing. So when you have, if your hindrance is editing your work by yourself, give it out to professional editors or your friends that you know are very good in grammar. You can give it out to them, because no matter how much you try to edit by yourself, it is what you have in your head that you'll be reading out, and your editing will not be effective at all. So that's what you can do.
Okay, Nam, I hope that answered your question. The questioner, I hope that has helped you. Now, I don't know if we have any more questions. If you have any more questions, please drop them in the comments section. I will get them to you. And then some of the attendees will be watching later. They'll be watching the replay. So many of them may have questions. So they may drop them here, or because I'm going to drop your bio and links to your social media in the description box. So perhaps they would connect with you.
There is no problem.
They may drop the questions here. So if I get any questions, whether by email or here, I will send them to you, inshallah. I hope that's okay.
All right, no problem.
Now, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan for the enlightening and eye-opening presentation. Being productive
so
as a writer it can be really hard, especially for us women and especially for us mothers, because we usually have like so many things doing at the same time, trying to compartmentalize everything in your head, and sometimes it may be a challenge to it may be a challenge that's not easy to surmount. So Jazakumullahu khairan for the tips and for the knowledge you share, for the gems you dropped. Jazakumullahu khairan for hearkening to our call and coming live to do this talk. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm going to check if there are no more questions. Okay, people are only telling you thanks. Some are saying you've had a very smooth presentation. I thought so too. Very concise, to the point, no fluff. Very nice. There's some comments here that are saying you had a very smooth presentation, eye-opening, enlightening, and informative. Now, and I agree with every one of them. So I think there are no more questions. So we're going to end the broadcast now, inshallah. So we'll see you everyone by I think there are new comments. Let me see. Okay. We'll see everyone inshallah by 1:30, where we'll be diving into editing as a very important tool for writing. So we'll see you then, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan, everyone, for joining in, and Jazakumullah khairan for Mr. Lateefah for the presentation. We'll see you by 1:30, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh.